Alright, get this last guy onto the highway here. Then turn it. Run it through that top. And run it all the way down. By weight of the amount of sheer raw materials I have. Other lessons in why trains over other logistics is, even though I have infinite items from space, technically, in reality the cost of this assembly line is going to be enormous. And it's going to take time to get all of the parts in. Every part you add is actually an error that can happen. So if you break one thing on a train line, you break one thing on a train line. If I run 3 belts, any one of those 3 belts can have an oopsie daisies, and I'll have to figure it out. Moment. And my atomic assembly line is nice and backed up, so it does make me happy. Get some extra Covarex going on in there. Alright. Now then. Where do I go with this job? Well, all of a sudden an uncommon spaceship just became a very real thing in this run. based off of these parts inventories. What the world did I just do there? Well, that's why that's not running. It's because I'm blind and I didn't put another pipe in there. Put a jump for some reason instead. Well, I shouldn't have to put another pipe in there. What's going on? Usually these will automatically split, so I'm just going to watch it for a moment and glare at it. Yeah, no, it's just being a pill. Oh, that's why. Ah. Well, I know how to fix that. How do I avoid that problem in the future? I'm pretty sure if I go back and look, that's going to be set to normal. It won't be able to load all ingredients, so that's the check I need to do in order to catch that error. Like, it's funny because when I do this in the map editor, I don't go through this process of like, wait, I'm on a time limit. I can't. I have to gain skills so I don't make mistakes. Whereas if I'm in the map editor, it's like, all the parts are infinite. I'll be fine. So there's a more professional mentality, which honestly is something I'm happy to admit. I'll live with being more professional. Okay. So I got the rare plastic, so I can take that down like so. Put it into those chips. And processing units would make more sense, so let's do it like that. Somewhere around here is acid, because I brought it up behind the base. I'm taking a little break because it's going to take time to put in this entire assembly line that's blinking on my mini-map. So there's a rhythm to this. It's not just like touch and go, like you'd want it to be. I'd want it to be touch and go at least. It's like, nope, you have to do it my way. It's like, but I want the rest of my assembly line. Like, too bad, no parts. It is a pretty happy thing though, because then I can just feed this out. There may one day be rare plastic. Well, not rare, but plus plastic in there, and I'll want to feed it out into another box if there is. So that's the logic of that little adjust there. Make that more like 10. So I don't have to fly a line of steel in here too. On top of all of the other small adjustments that I'm doing. Appear to have run out of everything. Okay, that stopped and then it started. How long has that been going on? Just recently. Based off what? Based off a lack of plastic. Oh, it's the petrochem is short for some reason. Well, I know how to fix that. Because it's not breaking down enough fluid, so... Yeah, alright. Oh, that's starting to look a little bit better. Okay. There's going to be enough to do what I want to do in space, so that's good. So I'm going to approve a rocket launch series to TL Coffee. He's getting Foundation now. Okay. Brian doesn't need more bullets. That's the air comet. Alright. Okay, get that set of parts orders done. Justician and Robert Fitch. So here's my play. Do two like that. And then do a beacon set. Because that's going to take a way long time and a lot of resources to do the same amount of work. Here's I'm still short of plastic. That's rough. And then do a proper lane hop where it's green chips on this. And don't look back from doing about 1 item per second. That's going to be the 5.2 that I want. So I'm happy with that. It'll just be a matter of getting acid in. Why all of the effort like this, you may ask, and somebody who has played a bit of Factorio will be like, well, that's a required one for Mr. Coffee. He doesn't get to make it easy. The cost of those chips is enormous. And this does need to go and be a production art instead of a production idea, so... see how that hits, and go from there, because then it's going to need red ones. And see how these are like 0.2 versus 0.25. So that's not a good sign. There's a reason why I dropped 3 of these copper boxes down in here. I'm going to need to make a truly monumental amount of wires. And then pair those up with greens. There's 2 reasons for doing this much of it. Just have a substation cover everything is going to be so much easier, so let's do that. So yeah, there's two reasons for doing it kind of like this. One is this science needs it, period. The other is everything else in the game needs utility science. I can get away with not having as many of these things, technically, but the stuff for utility science is like, no, I really need that. Really need more of it, in fact. That's going to be about 1. This is registering 0.62. This is registering about 1, so... it's going to be a funny looking assembly line. $5.10. One, 2, based off of this line. 0.629. 0.629. Okay, it is 1 for 1. Because these are that slow, I can get away with this. And just be like, there you go. Dump it right on in there. It'll get crafted eventually at a rate of 1.3 a second, once I get some sulfuric acid in here. Then 1, 2... as well as deliver the sulfur as a solid part. Because of how little I need. Which is probably going to force me to make a rocket fuel train going from the other refinery. I'm just being realistic here. Takes that much.